What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. And today we have the NG Models September 2023 releases for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back to the clan, NG Models. Very excited for today's release reaction, as we should have some really good ones here now that are not on the website yet, which is kind of interesting, but they are on Instagram. So we're gonna have to improvise a little bit here. So I'm gonna zoom in on the picture and react to it, the CGIs, which I think will be pretty cool for different. So certainly looking forward to this. Here's the hints. Haven't looked at them at all. I think the three thumbnail pictures are the only ones I've seen. It's mainly that Atlas 747, bare metal, and the New Mexico one for Southwest. Outside of that, haven't seen any of these. So looking very forward to this. Going to quickly go over here and zoom in to this one, and then as you can see the arrow right there, we can go back and forth. So let's go ahead and get started. Now there's 10 of these, of course, so we're gonna have to improvise quite a bit, considering that it's not the usual format, but nevertheless, I'll zoom in out just a little bit here, and we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll review each and every one once we complete. So if I'm a little off on some of these international ones especially, I apologize in advance. But nevertheless, here it is right here, starting right here with the beautiful, looking very forward to this final Atlas Air Boeing 747-8 freighter. Can't see the registration from here, of course, but of course it's in that bare metal livery, which I think is a really cool plane. We typically don't get many of these in 1:400 scale, and I'm looking forward to continuing to expand my fleet. This is certainly one that I would really like to get, and certainly probably planning to, because of how cool it is, and obviously it's the last ever built 747. How can you not? So what an awesome airplane it is, and certainly with a great purpose and representation there here in 1:400 scale. So looking very forward to this aircraft. Should be a really good one, and very excited to see that one done. So good job right there by NG. Okay, next up we have in Australia, Asia, Boeing 747 SP. Very cool to see this aircraft as well. Certainly a very interesting one. I'm not sure if they had any affiliation with Qantas, of course. Looks kind of similar in the livery, but nevertheless, really cool to see this. Maybe they integrated them from Qantas. I'm not completely sure, but this is certainly going to be a good aircraft, and I'm looking very forward to seeing how this one turns out. So looking very good right there, and that is absolutely fantastic right there, to say the very least. And we also have another one. Now the difference here is I can't immediately find one, but I'm trying to. I'm looking at it. Might just be a different name. That's my best guess here. Not seeing any particular differences, so apologies on that. But nevertheless, we have yet another Australia Asia 747. Could have a different name, could just be a different registration. So typical NG duplicates. Can't complain with it too much. It's pretty standard to them. So what can we do besides enjoy what we have there? And that's looking absolutely fantastic, to say the least. Okay, a Turkish Airlines Boeing 777-300ER. Very cool to see this. I think it's Tango Charlie Julia Uniform Sierra. It's something like that. May have missed a letter somewhere in there. It's a little fuzzy, but nevertheless, very cool release right here. Now I think Phoenix has done it in the past, and probably even Gemini jets, but this is a really good release right here, especially with how great their mold is on the 777. I think it's a really good choice, and certainly looking forward to seeing that one comes out. So that's absolutely fantastic. Looking really forward to that. And NG, really nice choice there on the Turkish 333. That's really good. Now we'll have to see if we get a sticker or not, or what's next. Indeed we do. I think just the titles are different here. I see a little bit of a different title there. Trying to see if there's any other flagship changes there, but I think it's just going to be that sticker. So again, what can you do about it? They're just trying to recycle and get as many out as possible, is the logic, I'm sure, which is not bad. Certainly got to do what you got to do there. So yet another Turkish 333. At least it is one of the more popular aircraft out there, so we can't complain too much with that. This would be a long time one that I would like to get, but I need to probably work towards more new airlines rather than duplicates of airlines I already have, since I have the Dreamliner there. So, but nevertheless, a really cool release right there. Wow, United Boeing 777-300ER. This is going to be the Continental Globe livery. How cool is that? Now, I think Gemini jets this one. Oh, it was probably 2017 or 2018. It's been a while. So really cool to see this one. That's absolutely awesome. Just I got done seeing a bunch of United 777s at San Francisco and Denver lately. So I'm thinking about getting the 200 Continental Globe. I've really thought about that. So who knows? Maybe I got to get this one now. But no, in all seriousness, this is a really cool release. I think their 333 looks really cool in both liveries. So that's really cool. Really awesome to finally go get to see them in San Francisco too. That's pretty much their home. So really nice to see that. I think that's a really good release right there. Aviation 400 probably did it a couple years ago at some point, but certainly doesn't hurt to get some additional ones. So are there better choices? Yes. Are there worse choices? Also probably so. So we can't complain too much with that, and certainly glad to see that one getting done here for NG. And a British Airways Boeing 777-200ER, it looks like the official airline England football team sticker on it. So yeah, we've talked about these stickers quite a few times. I won't go into it here. I'd like to make a separate video on it at some point. Nevertheless, though, this is another pretty solid choice here. Certainly pretty bold when it comes to this one. It's not just on the nose or something. So certainly a little bit more distinctive there, and I like the choice compared to others, that is. So pretty solid there for British Airways. That's solid, and a bunch of 777s to start out the release here. So looking good so far. Starting with the A330 here, though, we got the, I'm going to do my best to pronounce it. I think it's Voltalia del Evicon, something like that. Airbus A330-200 this time. Very cool to see this one. I really like the tail design that they have here. I think that looks really nice for difference. So really good choice here by NG. I think that one should be a really cool one, and certainly very unique. I don't think anybody's really done that aircraft before to my knowledge, although it's certainly been a while if they have. So looking good there. That's a good choice. And now we're going to get a Garuda Indonesia Cargo Airbus E330-300. Papa X-Ray Golf Papa Delta, I think. Yeah, it's certainly an interesting choice here. This one's certainly much more distinctive than your previous Garuda offerings with all the stickers and everything. So I think this is a much better choice than the BA sticker that we just saw, for instance. Solid, you know, certainly some pretty significant difference there. And the other cool part about this one is I don't think it's ever been done. So not too bad of a choice there. I think that's pretty solid, and certainly glad to see that there for NG. And we're going to get another one. Now this is where it kind of falls off the rails. I don't see a major difference here. I really don't. I'm trying to see if I'm missing anything, but I don't think I am. So I think it's just a different registration. This is Delta and this is Alpha. So it is what it is. What can you do about it? At least it's a little bit different than what they've done in the past there. So ultimately a pretty decent choice there, and that looks pretty solid to say the least. Southwest New Mexico 737-800. Yes and yes. November 8655 Delta. Very cool. I got to see this plane yesterday. So how awesome is that to see here in 1:400 scale? Absolutely going to be picking it up. It's going to look super good at the Albuquerque Sunport International Airport. That's really, really exciting right there. I personally think this livery looks really great on the 800, possibly even better than the 700. I mean, certainly got a stretch job here, but it's bold. You can certainly get the concept here for the 800. So really good choice here by NG, beating Gemini Jets to the punch once again, but obviously they're not licensed. So there's trade-offs there, but NG should absolutely kill this one, and hopefully they do a really good job on it. So NG, nice choice here on New Mexico 1. Malaysia Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8, very cool choice. So I think they're the first to get this one done in 400. So this is what I would like to see them continue to expand on. They've already done plenty of Malaysia 737-800, so why not do planes like the MAX? So really good choice here. This is really solid logic. I think the tail also looks really cool in this one. And once again, I don't think anybody's done it. Wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix or JC did at some point, but NG's mold is great, and I certainly am excited to see them tackle the Malaysia MAX 8. So pretty good choice there. I think that's solid. Really impressed with that compared to some of the others. That's solid. Okay, X-Men Air Boeing 737 MAX 8. Very similar story here. They've done plenty of 800s, so really cool. This one also has the supported the UN on it, which is really nice. Big fan of this one. Big fan. This is really solid. You know, obviously hard to relate since I'm a US collector, but I would presume vouching for those international collectors that they're really excited about getting the Maxes here instead of the 800s. So that's really solid and a really good choice there for NG. That's really solid. Here we go. Here's a I'll do my best to pronounce it. I'm going to probably botch it, but Airlines Argentina, something like that. Boeing 737-800. Now, I can't remember if they've done the 738. It's been a while if they have. So similar story here, not bad. Certainly getting some really solid variety here, that's for sure. This also does have a sticker right here, it appears. So solid release right there, not bad. Pretty impressed with that. That'll work. And we're going to get the cargo variant of the 737 as well. I think that's Lima Victor Charlie Tango Charlie. Very similar story here. No, it's never been done. So NG certainly finding the forte there, using getting the cargo planes going for all these flagship carriers. So can't complain with it too much. They're certainly getting some new pieces to the puzzle there, and that's looking good. Okay, a China United, I think that's who this is, a 737-800, it's Bravo something. This is another really, really solid choice. This airline I don't think has ever been done for NG. Possibly hasn't even been done at 400. I'm sure it has at some point, but nevertheless, this is a good timing for this. Now, again, this is what I'm talking about. Let's choose planes that have not been done recently and really run with it, and that's what I'm very proud to see here. They can even go as far as Gemini Jets re-releases, you know, the Delta A319 and 175. Future releases in the United Neo and 7810, just really great stuff. We'll talk about that more in a future video, but really great to see this right here, and this is a really solid effort. So NG, nicely done. Now, please no duplicates. Yes, thank you. Certainly not too much here to go into on this particular offering, but this is going to be the Boeing Dreamliner Explorer Boeing 787-10. Very cool to see this. It's November something. Yeah, you know, it's certainly as blank as it gets, but it certainly looks nice. Can't complain with, you know, my big concept right now, what I would like to see as a collector personally, and this goes for all faucets, is just something different, and this is certainly falling in that category. I can't complain with this too much. This is certainly different, so big fan. Now let's see what we can follow it up with. Yes, Saudi Arabia Boeing 787-10 retro livery. That is solid. Really good choice there. I personally think it looks really cool, especially with the purple, navy, and green shades. That's certainly something you're not going to see every day, especially in 2023. So I think that's a really good choice here for Saudia. That looks really great, and certainly really excited to see that. NG doing a good job there on the choice, and that should come out very, very nice. Yes, Korean Air Boeing 787. I believe that's a -10. Nice. To my knowledge, this is probably the first one done in 400 for the -10. I could be completely wrong on that, but that's solid. Not many of these have been done, so really good choice, if any, that is. Very proud of NG here. This is really, really starting to turn the corner. This is what I expect here, so this is a really good release. Big fan of that. Really nice. Of course, the -9 has been done a couple times, so glad to see the -10 getting after it there. That's a really, really good choice. Very nicely done here by NG. Okay, ANA Starline 787-9. Now this one has been done on the -8 or 10, I want to say. They may have already done at least one -9, so not horrible, pretty standard. Looks great on the Star Alliance. Excited to see how they continue to evolve on those, and ultimately a pretty solid offering right there. So that looks really good too. I believe we have one more page of releases, so let's go ahead and get into that. Yes, we do. So let's go ahead and get into this Tupolev. I'm not sure who this is particularly, but I'll go over the list once we get there, of course. This one's looking really good here, though, regardless. Trying to shift it over a little bit. Looking good on this one. I think it's a 154. Not an expert on that, but we'll go through the full list here in a minute. So that one's certainly looking good with the livery and everything. And then we have a Tamron TU-154M, I think is what that is. 134, 154, something like that. Another really unique choice here. I think that's really good. I don't know if that's the Tamron logo. It looks almost like the Lot logo. I'm not sure if it's a hybrid or if that's absolutely Tamron. I need to become more familiar with those. Tango Romeo, Tango Papa Delta, it looks like. Another good choice, a little bit more distinctive there. So big fan of that. That's solid. Airbus Beluga, nice, good choice here. Foxtrot Bravo something, but this is number 6 in line, so I certainly would like to get one of these at some point. This is a really cool plane. Certainly glad to see this. This one also has flying outside cargo to your destination, which is really cool. Yeah, I really like this the separation they have between the Belugas. They haven't done one in a while, so this was the right time to do another one for all the collectors that are ready to get one. So really good choice there by NG. That's very solid logic. Very pleased with that. That's really, really good. Tiger Air Airbus A319 or 20. That's a really cool one right there. Certainly glad to see Tiger Air getting some representation. Now I think they might have done some previously, but it's been a while. I think Panda may have did some, so it's been a while though regardless. So this is a good one to come to. I think that's a really good choice to get the really good variety. It looks like a 3. It might be a 320, but it looks like a 319. Anyways though, really good choice, and that's looking very nice. That's a really good plane right there. What more could you expect? This one at least a little bit more distinctive. This is a flyscoot.com hybrid Tiger Air 319. Looking good on that one as well. Certainly variety to say the least there. So can't complain with it too much. That's certainly looking pretty nice. Good job. And how about this? I'm going to do my best here. Pernicon something. This is a TU-204 100, I believe, because the 300 is a shorter one. It's kind of inverse from the 757. So cool to see this one here, though. Looking really nice. Been a while since we got the 204, so I think this is another good choice for them. Certainly very distinctive at that. So looking good on that one. And we have another one. I think the difference here is the sticker. So what can you do? Actually, yeah, okay, it's just the sticker and the tail, so a little bit more distinctive, so you can't complain too much with that. So not too bad right there. So certainly getting the variety to say the least. Finnair Airbus A350-900, and this has that appears to be a some sort of deer, whitetail, something like that. Yeah, they've certainly recycled that fin air as many times as they can, but it is certainly something there. So, you know, I have mixed feelings about it. Part of me is like, what the heck? Why can we not use it on another plane? Another part of me is like, okay, more fin air 350s, so be it, you know. So it certainly helps for the collectors that weren't able to get the standard one. So I can't complain too much with that. Ironically, I had the standard one on my desk, ironically enough. So very cool. The cleaners lost the Wi-Fi box. I can't find the Wi-Fi box, so that's pretty sad. But, you know, what can I say? Now this is just where I'm just like, what the heck, you know? Same plane. I'm sure it's like 1 and 2 like the previous ones they did. The titles there may be a little bit different, but I don't have too much to elaborate on that. I just like, you know, that's kind of like a come on at this point. Spirit Airbus A321. Okay, how about that? So it looks like 660 November Kilo. So if you don't remember, Spirit or NG did a Spirit 321. Ooh, August of 2020, maybe. It was a while ago. It was a very long time ago. Might have been June. It was somewhere in 2020, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So really cool to see this one getting done here. Certainly very excited to have more Spirits done. I do already have this one, so I'll focus my resources towards getting the 320 Neo that they did, and maybe even the 319. So just kind of scratch my head a little bit because we could have added Frontier, United, anything else in this spot, but what can you do? It certainly is a popular aircraft, so I'm thinking it's August because they released it right around when Gemini did, if I'm not mistaken. So it's somewhere around there. It's around that time frame. So, but nevertheless, it's a time for a re-release there. But I think the resource could have been used a little bit better. But you know what? What are you going to do about it? It's all released at the end of the day. So I'm thinking that is our release. Yes. Okay. So let's go back to, so 30 items today. So let me see if I could go back and if we can review the full list, make sure I didn't miss anything. So that's 738, the cargo, the China Airlines 737, Southwest New Mexico 1, X-Men and Malaysia Maxes. You got the 2 Australia Asia 747 SPs, the Atlas last ever built 747, the BA triple, the United triple is also nice. That's pretty good with the new Spirit United titles. That's great. 2 Turkish 333s, so yes, just 2 different names on those. The On Nippon Star Alliance, Korean 7810, and the Saudi are really good choices along with the Boeing company. You got the 2 Scoots. I'm a pretty big fan of that. That's solid. 2000s colors on that. Spirit 321, indeed. The Beluga looking solid, and then you have a nice list here of this A330 for the cargo for BOA. 2 Garudas. Okay, yeah. So it is Happy Holiday 1 and 2 for Finnair. All right. I mean, sure. I'm still under the impression that those could have been used a little bit better, but we'll talk about that more later. Those, in fact, both were T154s, but those were the Bravo variants. So we had the and something like that, and the Tamron, as I said, and 2 Russia Transport Tu-214s, in fact, excuse me, and 506 and 505 were the ones done there. So yeah, ultimately for this release, a little bit better than average. The choices certainly had a little bit more deviation than what you typically would find, so I'm certainly a big fan of that. There's still a couple head scratchers. That's just going to happen every month, it seems. So, but there's certainly some good variety. Melbourne RA8 International with just a really practical comment here. Australia Asia SPs. That's awesome. So everybody's finding their niche here, and that's what we're trying to do. I certainly think they're I just wish the logic would be improved a little bit. It's just like every single month, it's just like, come on. But, you know, in conjunction with that, they did make some planes that we really wanted. And there were some really good choices in there. The Dreamliners had a really solid lineup. That was great. Turkish 333s are solid. Of course, the last ever built 7.4, New Mexico 1. There's a bunch of positives to take away from this particular set. Certainly more than what they've done even earlier this year. So I'm certainly a big fan of that. We certainly still have plenty of progression to do. There's no doubt about that. But all we can do at this time is continue to appreciate what they've done and try to keep encouraging them. And hopefully at some point we'll be finally seeing Frontier, United 320 Evo Blues, just completely overdue at this point. That's got to get done at some point, so on and so forth. But again, really solid release. I would love to hear in the comments what you thought about this set. And yeah, so again, I had the Albuquerque update on Friday that really went into detail about a bunch of the channel content at this time. Expect a channel update very soon, along with a bunch of various cool videos coming out. Apologies that it's been so busy lately, but about 1 more month here of the grind, and then by mid-October, hopefully we'll be getting back into a really solid routine. Been looking very forward to it. It's certainly been a really fun summer and leading into the fall here, obviously, but it's certainly been there's been a bunch going on, so I'm certainly ready to hold the brakes for a little bit, get back to some root content. I've really missed the models. You know, I've barely been here, so I barely You can probably see with how the tables have changed in the background, how little that I've been able to do. Just what it is. Can't do too much about it besides wait until it's time, and then we'll finally get back after it. Have so many projects that I want to work on, and I'm looking very forward to all those, and hopefully we'll be able to balance out the travel in between a little bit better. But we'll talk about it in channel update, how it fell and why it did, and I think it'll make more sense once we get there. So again, really appreciate all the support, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.